Saturation.
Some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's gonna be
community.
Their judgment is our newborn king. Yeah, 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 yeah. They're fighting for their trophy ring. Intentions are to wipe us clean. Hold on, we won't go down that easy. Go down that easy. Go down that easy. I know you.
We all have the same unique experience with oppression. We have a similar unique for hundreds of years, Black folks have actually been in charge. We have been the leaders of everything. We have just had oppressors. We are farmers, we are homesteaders, we are caretakers, we are wet nurses, we are musicians. We hold all of these traits and qualities that have taken our lead on things. And especially Black women, we are magical. For folks that don't take our leadership, they eventually end up coming around like, oh, you're right. You can care about us, but don't get in front of us. White folks take the lead on a lot of things, oftentimes for other people's bodies, other people's communities. That's not what we are about. We are about taking control of our own destinies and being self-determined in whatever way we see fit as Black folks. We started the Black Phoenix Organizing Collective. Building a new sense of tradition, reconnecting with our cultural roots. It's making sure that our elders have what they need, particularly here in Phoenix, because we don't have that visibility. There is no neighborhood for us. Are working for right? There's no historical Black neighborhoods. They built an airport in the middle of it instead of preserving wherever we can fit in and carve it in. If you can break down radical theory, Audre Lorde type stuff, into a language that high school students can understand, then anybody can be organized at any level.
Hitting, no throwing of objects, no leaving the classroom without some kind of discussion with me, no groping of yourself or other people.
Growing up on the reservation, we were organized. We all believed in the same mission, the same vision, the same goal. We had everybody's interest at hand. We were able to build a family with the community. A liberated community oftentimes is a organized one.
As I sit in this group of trees, I'm wondering how they're all able to stay so close to each other. They're all individuals and they have roots. No one's growth is impeding the other. These roots in the ground, they're helping each other grow at some level, but they're also individual. I think what allows for that is the roots being malleable. One root isn't gonna go in one set direction if it's abrupted by another root. It's naturally gonna grow around it. You're gonna compromise on some of your individual beliefs, but if your individual beliefs impede on someone else's, your freedom is making someone else unfree. I can't be doing bullshit. It's rather capitalist. Everyone's producing, but for their own personal profit rather than the mutual benefit of the people within the community. It requires love to try to understand that cooperation is more valuable than competition. I don't see myself ever losing my sense of individuality in the collective.
I better do this or else I will be a failure. It really fucked up a lot of us. Is to intersect in the community I grew up in. The first generation, they were operating out of faith, especially when they first joined. Young people were together really trying to make a difference, really caring about each other. That was part of the reason that so many people joined, was because they found this beautiful thing.
A beloved true parent.
My parents met because River Moon pointed a finger at both of them, and they both agreed to get married. His spirit is alive. Jesus was dead. River Moon was alive. The second coming is alive. So, what are you going to do? The community is really the glue. I want my family to be a, quote, ideal family, a fear of not reaching perfection. Fear was a baseline for a lot of us without even realizing the source of where it was all coming from. They gave their youth, their 20s, just fundraising and witnessing to people and living in vans. All of his kids went to Harvard. They lived in this crazy, huge house. This is so typical of a cult leader, having lots of money, exploiting his members while preaching all these beautiful things that people really believe in and want to believe in something.
There's a reason for each mural. The Sawyer station is commemorative murals. The school, somewhere central, the art museum. More decorative. I'm a transplant to communities, I live there 4 to 5 months, and then I go to the next project or site or whatever it is I'm working on. I become a part of it, kind of. I know all the little bodegas in the city to go to and whatnot just from work. I talk to everyone. The mural can get blighted space and make it a little bit brighter. I mean, murals are Philly's thing, but it feels like a lot of them kind of move in a gentrified way, preemptively creating neighborhoods. I don't know, but there's already murals everywhere, so I'm probably wrong. there's Sanchez, there's a bunch of quotes of hers, there's a statue of a tiger or a lion. It's around a garden. There's so much going on in that mural. There's so much stuff I can't even remember. I helped paint that mural. The college kids that were painting it, I helped out. That definitely influenced what I like doing. Because I thought that was so cool that I got to help do something on our block. And that was definitely an experience that I remember. I've gotten to give similar experiences to other people in the city, which is good. It gave us a little pride, a little neighborhood pride. I feel like it's more important getting other people in the neighborhood working on the mural in their neighborhood. That's the real experience there. Going to a spot and then having people involved.
Without eyes, loud laughter breaks over our heads. Give me courage so I can spread it over my face and mouth.
Yeah, we get a lot of Chinese people. Our government partners with China in the construction of a lot of stuff. Some Kenyans would act with animosity towards Chinese. They feel like the Chinese are stealing their jobs.
They come in without any conditions at all, just saying that they wanted to do business and stay away from politics.
China is going to take over our port in Mombasa, which is a city on the coast. If we don't pay them back, it's like our biggest debt to pay off right now. On a day-to-day basis, they kind of mind their own business and keep to themselves. I don't really see a lot of them on the streets, actually, now that I think about it. They tend to develop their own communities, their own spaces in which they interact with each other as Chinese people alone. There's like a tiny version of Chinatown, Chinese restaurants and Chinese hotels. In that way, they're building their own businesses. Even if I was in their position, that would be easier for me to do, to just bring my culture with me. Many communities are established upon who agrees with me and who disagrees with me. People who agree with you, they're easy to associate with, and it's just more work to convince someone to believe in what you're saying than to talk with someone who already believes in what you're saying. Communities need to communicate. If you can't communicate with the people you associate yourself with, then that defeats the whole purpose of being in that community and sharing ideas of how you can improve each other. If everyone has the willpower and wants to make it work and make the community grow, a community that wants that will be willing to look past language barriers, find a way to make everything work.
The most resilient ecosystems are the ones that have the most biodiversity.
The whole system is falling apart. We can see that. People are worried about the supply chain. You should be. It's fragile.
The ecosystem is only able to really fully recover when there is other diversity of life to fill that gap.
We are not separate from this beautiful soil that feeds us. Vast expanses of land that are very lonely. People are lonely and sad because they don't know where their food comes from. The solution, local food hubs in every single community. Permaculture, permanent agriculture. Compost back in and you tend to it all the time, and that's your livelihood. where you get your nourishment, how you build social bonds with others. It's a food forest. Certain plants to extract heavy metals from the soil. You can remove those plants and you can rebuild the soil. You can grow fruit in a greenhouse, in the mountains, in the winter. If you know how to do it, the knowledge is out there and we just have to keep circulating it. If food is medicine, it is really most powerful when you share it with other people. People who know about geology and soil science, people who know about plant biology, people who know how to build things, and people who can do math really well, who speak different languages and know different lineages of herbalists and healers, like what they're good for, and everyone has a role. That's the unity and diversity that it takes to build a resilient food system. What we have now, the opposite of resilient. Everyone has to eat and we have to change.
No, never that. I don't want to go back. No, never that. No, never that. No, never that. I don't want to go back. No, never that. No, never that. No, never
I'm in a lot of communities. I am an immigrant. Home country, Venezuela. I guess my race, because, you know, there is the immigrant community and then there's the race community, which is completely different, but somewhat the same. Other communities would probably be my hobbies, you know, art. I like to draw a lot. I've recently started looking more into witchcraft, which is very much frowned upon. And the LGBTQ+ community, I mean, that's a very much hated community as well.
There's always those girls that come up to you and be like, oh, you know, you're the new kid. We want to talk to you. After a while, you let yourself loose from those people. They just bring you in, let you know the people, and then they let you go as soon as they realize you found who you think would be the type of people you usually hang out with.
That has always changed because I am a teenager. We are changing. We are exploring who we are, not only to other people, but to ourselves. You know, everybody tries to be a part of something. I don't exactly agree with always having to be a part of something, but it does feel nice to remember that you're not alone out there. There's people out there who are going through the same things as you, who like the same things as you. If you feel ashamed of anything, reach out there.
I've never really fit in.
Even as a gang member, I was always a bit different. I've been looking for my community all my life. Community is a group of people who care about you and have a similar worldview as your own, but care enough about you to call you out when you're wrong. This helps you grow. Your community understands that when they build you up to be the best you can potentially be, the whole benefits. As a gang member in prison, there are certain things you're obligated to do. One is to support the people that are a part of the gang. Although I went to AdSec for something personal, my actions were dictated by the gang's code of conduct. You don't allow anyone to be a representative of the gang. Once I arrived to AdSeg, the gang abandoned me there. I literally gave up most of my life and I lost what little community I had. This caused me quite a bit of pain. Most of my life, this anger shows in different ways in different people. Most lost eat at others. Most guys have been abandoned there. They lashed out at people who were in their gangs, creating more pain and anger. I refused to do this, and it caused me to become infuriated and depressed. I never felt so alone. This has left a deep scar that hurts to this day. But from all this, I reached out to Black and Pink and found a true community of loving and caring people. Actually showing me by example how to be a true friend and a good human being. Thank you for this opportunity.
Let him cast the first stone.
Jeremy.
Que nadie me dice qué hacer, libertad. No encontrarás un lugar en el que puedo salir sin temor de sacar, en donde en las noches abunda el terror. Niña, señorita, que no te ponga falda esta noche para ir a bailar, para ir a bailar. Siéntate bien, señorita, bonita, que como una dama te debes comportar,
We went into the quarantine together. He came out to Colorado. Well, here we are. My dad was like, you need to bring your ass back here. We literally packed up in a day. I went from seeing this man every day to not seeing him at all. My parents, they don't think he should, which is unfortunate because he is the shit. I genuinely trust Xavier. I'm like, this is what healthy feels like, then I'm in it for a while. I just want to be a kid again. The prime time. My mind was so open. Discovering my inner kid and sharing that with him. I'm like, this is something we can't do together. We went back to my high school. And I was just talking to him. I said, this is where I had the most best memories with my friends. And that was the point that this happened. I was like, let's climb on the hill. He was like, do you want to put this on camera? Like, I would film this for you. He got the camera out. And he was like, just talk. Just keep talking. We've been trying to document our time together. And that's what I think community is documenting the time that you spend with people that you love.
It happened to be after 9/11. What could I do that could contribute to humanize the people that I grew up with? A summer camp would be an Arabic language and cultural day camp. These roots have been formed through the school community. I didn't mind that my boys could participate in something like this. Neighbors. I had brought together a team of teaching artists and teachers. Most important was our Arabic language teacher, Abdullah Kashkar, actually was in Kuwait. She knew my mother. That's how I happened to meet her. The idea, the thematic-based learning, the diversity of kids that are coming from the city, outside the city, ethnic and religious backgrounds, and I felt like I should continue with this. By January 2003, we then formed Al-Bustan Seeds of Culture.
Marhaba Al-Bustan families and friends to Bair.
The arts are a powerfully effective medium through which youth and adults can engage in self-expression, explore their cultural identity, and form critical thinking skills. The arts provide a platform to analyze assumptions through dialogue and inquiry, encourage participation, to teach and present their art form, and commissioning them as well. We, each of us, are actively informing what, how, and where we define culture. We want to activate public space, right? We have X is not a letter in Farsi. Somebody asked me, so no, X was a letter, and they showed you it. They hadn't thought about other alphabets. X was a letter that the students chose. Was this the point of conversation? How are alphabets different or the same across languages? To think about something they hadn't. I
I see culture as a process of producing. Community is the context in which culture is created. Making sure that the arts aren't eliminated. There has to be this shared sacrifice.
Even though the world is a shit show right now, I'm just grateful to be here. It really is healing to be here in so many ways. I'm grateful. Before I came to this city, community just felt like another buzzword. Along with diversity and inclusion, it lacked weight, just a word that fell into an assorted pile of things we longed to obtain. No substantial effort to cultivate it. Its true essence. Can you tell I went to a PWI? I came to the city with $300 to my name. Not knowing what to expect, just hoping for a way out or a way through. Along the way, I discovered it. Strangers and associates became lifesavers. We all didn't have much, but the little they did share became invaluable treasures to me. As you live more life, you start to realize that no one owes you shit. No one owes you a dime, a thought, a word, nothing. Every city has a hood. Every city got a rough area. It's like we all got the shit everywhere. My community didn't feel entitled to their privileges. What they had, I had, and that lifted me up in ways unimaginable. Through all the no's I shuffled through in life, my community became one big warm yes. It gave me the strength, courage, and confidence to keep putting one foot in front of the other. That I would be someone, what they are to me. Support, love, lessons, grief, compassion, strength. I think about how I came to the city and no one owed me shit. But I left this city with a million treasures because they shared a piece of their heart, a piece of their lives, a piece of themselves with me. Envisioned a life I saw possible with community. For that, I am forever grateful.
Thank you to all you listeners of this episode of Saturation. In order of appearance, thank you Parris, Wallace, Ellis, Sawyer, Erika, Hiromitsu, Marcus Hines, Polo Onguru, Anna Wermuth, Sharyck, Jeremy Sledge, Lanaya Moon, Hassami Saeed, and Deja Morgan for your interviews. In order of musical appearance, special thanks to Kayana O'Hare, Callum MIDMIKE, Sax with Sam, Tim Mills, and Michael Murney for your artistic contributions. This episode could have not been possible without this community's sincerity, vulnerability, power, and bravery for telling their stories. And I thank you all for the work that you're doing in this world and being from the bottom of my heart. You can find the full track list as well as all associated organizations on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube under Arianish.
What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mamas. I think the whole world's addicted to the drama, only attracted to things that'll bring the trauma. Overseas, yeah, we trying to stop terrorism, but we still got terrorists here living in the USA, the big CIA, the Bloods and the Crips and the KKK.